How you doing, folks? Welcome to the inaugural episode of The Last Reel. I'm your host, Grover, and what I'm going to do is just give you a heads up on what you can expect from me and the show, which right off the bat you can tell is not production value. We got CD point lighting done with a pillowcase over some overhead lights, and a cheaply made backdrop out of foam and spray adhesive. So the production value on this is about as bad as some of the movies we're probably going to end up talking about. But that's kind of fitting for the project we're doing. And that's what this is right now. It's pretty much a project. It'll change and warp into different stuff probably that I didn't even see coming. But I mainly wanted just to get my opinion out there on film because I didn't see anyone that has kind of my take on it. Either people get too in-depth into film or not in-depth enough, and there's not really been a happy medium that I see. That being said, if you don't see something out there you want to see, make it yourself. That is the entire idea behind this. Hopefully we can probably get want to try to get 2 to 3 episodes out a week with different topics on each one. Maybe review an old movie, a new movie, and then have someone come in to help out and kind of get their take on movies, or just talk about film in general and certain stuff that I'll end up ranting about. That being said, hopefully you will enjoy the show, and I'll quit rambling now because I'm picking apart every little thing I say in my head as I'm talking. Should also learn to script things. That'd probably help a lot. Yeah. But that's the intro. We'll go back into the first show that I wanted to film, which is wanted to film about a week and a half ago. But everything I film, I pick apart and then just stop and try to redo it. So this is about the 18th time I've tried to film the first show. So that being said, we'll go right into the first episode. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy. The main thing I wanted to touch on in this episode was the Chattanooga Film Festival, which went to about a week and a half ago. First film festival I've been to, and it was really solidly put together for a film festival in the Southeast where you don't really get much of in the way of big events like that. They really made the best of what they had. I wasn't able to get a full pass and go there every day that the festival was going on because the tickets were pretty expensive, and I'm low on money because I do house repair stuff, so I just kind of picked and choose the main stuff that I wanted to check out. It ran from Thursday to Sunday, so we'll go by kind of each day we went. And the first thing we checked out Thursday night was The Dragon Lives Again, which was put on by the American Genre Film Archive, and it is a Bruceploitation movie. And if you don't know what that is, I didn't either. Apparently it was after Bruce Lee died, instead of just making new stars, China just named a bunch of people something similar to Bruce Lee and put them in tons of shitty movies. And this is the most notorious of those movies for several reasons. This one stars Bruce Liang, first and foremost. And the story picks up as after Bruce Lee dies, he has to fight his way out of the afterlife back to the real world. And to do that, he must fight such iconic characters such as Dracula, Clint Eastwood, dressed as the man with no name, James Bond, which looks like John McEnroe, The Godfather, The Exorcist, Emmanuel. If you know that name, you probably had a free weekend of Cinemax at some time during a kid if you had cable. And helping him out through all of this is his good friend Popeye, the Sailor Man. Now, at the point that Popeye came into the movie, I really thought it was just a fever dream. I was like, this is either the craziest movie ever made and they have no idea what character trademarks are, or I have 105-degree fever and I just completely passed out. It was the first. If you like bad movies, this is a movie right up your alley. if you like Samurai Cop, The Room, any of those kind of badly made production movies, this is the kung fu version of that. And it's just so out there. Like, I wish I could describe more, but there was so much that it overloaded my mind on how kind of cheaply it was made and the amount of action in it. It was a train wreck in the best way. But you can tell they really wanted to make a movie. Like, they tried their best, and that's one of the things I love about kind of B movies is you start with a little, and most of the time you don't hit the mark, but you try to get close. And every now and then, some don't even get close. They go way off the mark, and it is just a straight train wreck. That's what this one is. You can see like what they wanted to do, but they went so off the rails that it became something completely different. But that was a good way to kick off the festival. It was a nice starting off with you know, a little bit of camp, a little bit of fun, and just kind of set the mood for the rest of the festivities.
Oh, we've got Dracula, and he can summon up all his zombies to help us too.
Saturday, we saw 2 movies that day. The first one being Monster Squad, which was just great to see in theaters. It's one of my bucket list movies to see in theaters. And what made it better was the fact we got to see it with 2 of the stars of the movie, Andrew Gower and Ron Lambert, who played Sean and Rudy respectively. I can't talk about this movie without bringing up like my childhood, because it is such an integral part of me becoming a movie fan and me becoming a monster fan. It was just awesome to, like, sitting there, I felt like a kid again, sitting Indian style in front of a TV with that VHS in, watching the Monster Squad. It was just, anytime you get to relive a part of your childhood, it's kind of nice. The movie, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I can't review it unbiasedly, so you just got to take a recommendation on it. If you have kids, show it to them. It's like The Goonies fight the Universal monsters, but better written, honestly. The movie was directed by Fred Decker, which you know from Night of the Creeps if you're a B-movie fan, or RoboCop 3 if you're not a B-movie fan. Also written by Shane Black, who is one of my favorite screenwriters. You have him for Lethal Weapon, Last Boy Scout, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which grabbed Robert Downey Jr. and rose him up from the ashes, where he ended up eventually getting Iron Man and just bringing him back to where he should be as one of the best actors of this generation.
Robert's just a person like everyone else. I mean...
Oh, you shouldn't have said that. I'm special. I'm different.
The show, though, was great. You got to see them talk about the movie, their experiences with it, and they talked about their podcast, which is called Squadcast. So if you get the chance to check that out, it's a good listen to. If you're a Monster Squad fan, right up your alley. Talk about the effect it's had, what they think the film's brought to movies, and why it didn't do as well as the box office as a lot of people hope. So it's a good little, if you're like, it's an audio commentary and a kind of a making of all in there in one. Later on that day, we got a chance to check out Mayhem, which is Joe Lynch's new movie. Joe Lynch, you would know from Everly starring Selma Hayek and Knights of Badassdom with Peter Dinklage. Haven't seen Knights of Badassdom, even though it's one of those kind of nerd movies everyone tells me I gotta see, but I just haven't clicked on it on Netflix yet. The plot to Mayhem, though, is you have Steven Yeun, which you know from Walking Dead and the Internet the day after the Walking Dead premiere, and he plays a young up-and-coming lawyer that gets his big break by finding a loophole in this case where this virus gets released to a bunch of people and pretty much causes them to lash out with the most primal urges. Some people kill people, some just have sex at random, some just eat uncontrollably. It's like whatever your core it is just comes out. And he finds a loophole, and that gets him promoted right under the kind of main top guys of this law firm. And as the movie starts, you see that something big's happened, like a giant mistake has happened. It's all getting pushed on him when he had nothing to do with it. At that point, this movie's kind of hard to tell because so much stuff happens in the first 30 minutes, but you don't really feel like it doesn't feel like it's hammering you with stuff. Stephen Yeun does a good job of playing the everyman where you're just kind of going with him. Like he starts off bright-eyed, ready to take on the world, and as the movie goes on, you see this job just takes a little bit of his soul at a time. But as the movie goes on, this virus gets released into the building, and everyone in it is affected. Stephen Yeun is trying to get up to the main board of directors so he can plead his case and possibly just kill them all at a certain point. Just wants to wipe out every motherfucker that had a problem with him. And on this little journey, he has Samara Weaving, which you might know from Ash versus the Army Darkness. She was on a little few episode run there at the end of the first season, who does a great job. She's trying to get her home, the bankruptcy waived on her home. And Stephen Yeun tells them that the people he's after can make that happen for her. So they join a little team and go up pretty much video game style level to level and have to fight people along the way. This is very reminiscent to the Belko experiment for me, but I liked it a lot better. Joe Lynch, who was there at the festival, introduced the film and gave a little quick Q&A afterwards. Side note, saw him in the hallway when we first got to the festival, and the first thing I thought was, man, that looks like Andrew Garfield if after the second Amazing Spider-Man he just went to a deep depression, didn't shave, didn't take care of himself, like just looked really rough, that's kind of what I expect from a horror director. But seemed like a really cool guy. His intro was funny. You can tell he just had a really good time making this film. And it was good to see Stephen Yeun in something besides The Walking Dead, where you just kind of feel bad for him. That was the main thing. He was the most relatable character on that show for me. And once he was gone, I'm like, yeah, there's not really much reason to watch it anymore. All in all, if you like any of Joe Lynch's movies, this one seems to be right up its alley. Belko Experiment, if you like that, check this out too. Or just general horror movie fans. Same people that would like that would like this. And if not, hey, you got something to talk about and recommend against other things. And my main experience from the Chattanooga Film Festival was it got me to do this, to get in front of a camera and actually give my opinion out there. Because I saw so many people doing what they wanted to do, and they saw something that they thought was missing and try to put it out there. And I figure if they can do it, I can do it too. So the Chattanooga Film Festival had a lot to do with me making this and starting this journey wherever it ends up. That being said, totally go back next year. May scrounge up some money and try to get a badge so I can watch more movies and do a more in-depth review next time. But that's it for the first episode. Hopefully the next one we'll have a review going and have more of a flow of what the show will end up being. This is kind of the first test episode, so hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you like it, hit whatever the like button or subscribe button is on YouTube on which device you're watching, because it's different on your phone or your computer or whatever. Just help a brother out. Like, I got nothing. I got bad backdrop, bad lighting. And give me a chance. That's all I'm asking. Not much. Just a little bit of a chance. And hopefully I'll get some movies to you that I might not have seen. You guys can get some movies to me that I might not have seen. We can all be better for it. Build a little film community for everybody. Well, that being said, hope you guys have a good rest of your day, evening, whatever, and hopefully you'll catch me next time.